going to start with a little bit of housekeeping. So all of the slides will be sent to you via email at the end of the session. There's lots of information on everything, so they will be there for you to be able to look back on. We're also recording this webinar, and a link for that will also be included in the in the email. And then lastly, we ask that if you have any questions, you wait till the end. We will be holding a Q&A at the end, so we'll be able to answer any of the questions that you might have then. So the agenda for this evening will be that I will start by telling you a little bit about Verge, followed by a little bit of information about SAC Open Studios and what you can expect. You will meet the SAC Open Studios team. That will be followed by a timeline of what the program will actually be. And then an overview of what will be included as part, what will be included for artists when they participate. That will be followed by upcoming important dates and deadlines. And then we will end with some artist testimonials and some contact information for if you ever need to get in touch with us. And then at the very end, we'll have a Q&A. So founded in September 2018, Verge Center for the Arts is a nonprofit arts organization focused.
Sorry, Saba, I muted everyone and accidentally muted you as well. So just unmute yourself again.
Sorry about that. Let's try that again. Founded in September 2018, Verge Center for the Arts is a nonprofit arts organization focused on the promotion and support of contemporary art in the Sacramento region. We're located at 625 S Street in the South Side neighborhood of Sacramento. We acknowledge that Verge is on the traditional lands of the Nisenan people, and the current state of California is the homeland of many tribes. We are honored to be here today and acknowledge our responsibility to these Native nations and our commitment to work with them as we move forward as an inclusive institution.
Oh, so I think I take it from here.
Pass it on to Justina.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Saba. So what we're all here to talk about tonight is SAC Open Studios, which is Verge's largest community program, if I can get the words out. So we present it annually. It features a free self-guided studio tour, which is open to any artist in Sacramento County or West Sacramento. In 2019, it attracted over 30,000 visitors and featured more than 250 artists in their homes and studios. Participating artists opened their studios to the public during the middle 2 weekends in September. And something that's unique about SAC Open Studios is that the term art studio takes many forms. While plenty of participating artists do have the traditional studio space, many SAC Open Studios artists open their home studios or utilize other spaces to display their artwork during their assigned weekend. Since the studio locations of participating artists span all of Sacramento City Council districts and West Sacramento, it has been one of the most impactful ways in which Verge fulfills our mission to expand access to contemporary art throughout the region. Next slide. So before we really get into it, I wanted to introduce you all to the SAC Open Studios team. So these are the Verge staff members who make this program a reality. So Liv Moe is the executive director of Verge. Tonight is her 15th wedding anniversary, so she can't be here. She chose that, can you believe it? She chose her wedding anniversary over SAC Open Studios. But we'll forgive her. And then I'm Justina Martino. I'm the public engagement and outreach manager at Verge. And so now I'm overseeing the SAC Open Studios program along with any other public engagement programs that we do at Verge. You just heard from Saba. She's our new public engagement coordinator. You could say hello again to everyone, Saba.
Hi, everyone.
And okay.
Mhm.
And Saba, I just wanted to check, can you see me in the box? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And Estathia is our education associate. Estathia, if you're here, can you just say hi, unmute yourself and say hello? I thought I saw her come in. Oh, I think I can ask her to unmute.
Okay.
Estathia? Okay, well, she's here, but maybe she's having trouble unmuting. So these are the people that if you're emailing a question about SAC Open Studios or you're coming to one of these information sessions or any other SAC Open Studios event, you'll likely be connecting with one of the four of us. So you can go to the next slide. So I made this timeline to give a sense of the 2021 program structure. Since last year was weird because of COVID, so we did a lot of virtual events to take the place of the in-person tour. There was a virtual series that worked out really well, which was Conversations with Artists. So we'll be bringing this back this year as a complement to the in-person tour, but we will be having the traditional in-person tour in September as we did prior to the pandemic. So the deadline to register is May 16th. It's about a month away. So if you're thinking about registering, make sure to do that before then. And July and August, we'll have that virtual artist interview series, Conversations with Artists. The first Friday in August, we'll have the in-person guide release happy hour. So you can either come by and just come by Verge and pick up your guides. And if you feel like hanging around and socializing a little bit, we'll probably have some beverages in the side lot at Verge. September 9th is when we'll have the in-person kickoff event at Verge. And that's also when the preview exhibit opens. So that's like a big celebration that we have before the in-person tour. September 11th and 12th, that's when weekend one artists open their spaces to the public from Saturday to Sunday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And weekend two is September 18th through 19th. And that's when weekend two artists open their spaces to the public, Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. through 5 p.m. And then finally, September 26th, 2021 is the last day to view the preview exhibit at Verge. So SAC Open Studios participation really includes a lot of benefits for artists. Every artist that registers will be included in the in-person tour in September. So that's the main feature of SAC Open Studios, is that in-person September tour of artist studios. Then there's also the 15-minute virtual interview series for artists, which is optional. So if you're an artist that doesn't feel super comfortable being on camera or being in front of people on Zoom, or you just sick of Zoom, that's okay. You don't have to do it, but I think it's another great opportunity to get exposure and to get practice talking about your art. And also to connect with a regional art professional, because all the interviewers are professionals in our regional community. Also, every artist who registers gets a full color artist listing in the 2021 SAC Open Studios guide. Another optional benefit is the opportunity to list an artist demo in the SAC Open Studios guide. Each registered artist also gets an artist profile in the SAC Open Studios artist directory on vergeart.com. You'll also get free enrollment and a recording of the How to Promote Your Open Studios workshop. That's another thing that's optional, but it's a really great opportunity to learn how to promote your work. Another optional benefit is inclusion in the 2021 SAC Open Studios preview exhibit at Verge. And then finally, artists also get discounted advertising rates in the guide. So now this slide has all the things that are included in SAC Open Studios participation. And now I'm going to go into each one of these things with more detail. And it's going to be a lot of text and a lot of information. So don't worry about taking notes or trying to read all the text, because we will be sending this slide presentation to you via email. So you'll be able to reread through if you missed anything. So this is what people think of when they think of SAC Open Studios. They think of the in-person artist studio tour. So I broke down each of these benefits into 5 parts: what, where, when, why, and how, to really give a comprehensive overview of each of these things that are included in your registration. So what is the in-person tour? It's when participating artists open their studios to the public during their assigned weekend. Like I mentioned before, the term art studio takes many forms. You can open up in a cafe, in your backyard, at a community center, basically any space that you can get access to that's safe to open up to the public. So where is this? It's in Sacramento County in West Sacramento, and we're also opening up to Woodland this year. We just decided this yesterday as a trial. So if any Woodland artists are here, then you can also participate. Weekend 1 includes artists located west of I-80 or Highway 99, and weekend 2 includes artists located east of I-80 or Highway 99, and also some other locations, plus all of Elk Grove and areas south of Elk Grove. So if you have any questions about your artist, about what weekend you're on, just email us at sacopenstudios@vergeart.com and we can help you out. Next slide. So when is it? I just mentioned this earlier. So Saturday and Sunday, the 11th and 12th of September, and then Saturday and Sunday, the 18th and 19th of September. So why do we have this in-person tour? For many reasons. Just some of the benefits are because it connects artists directly with the public. People get to experience art in their own neighborhoods. Artists grow their audience and make sales. And I really think it's just a really great celebration of the many talented artists in our region. How do you participate? Every artist that registers is included in the in-person tour and is expected to open their space to the public during their assigned weekends. Due to the continuation of COVID, all participants will be required to enforce CDC guidelines, whatever they are, in September within the space they open. And those guidelines will also be included in the SAC Open Studios guide. Can you go to the next slide, Saba? Okay, so the 15-minute virtual interview. Some of you may have done this last year or maybe watched some of these last year. So in this picture here, we have Bill Stotler. He's the writer and founder of Articulator, with one of the SAC Open Studios artists, Heather Hogan. This was a super fun interview. So Conversations with Artists is a virtual interview series. Regional art professionals interview SAC Open Studios artists about their artwork, inspirations, processes, and more. And all live interviews will be recorded and artists will get the links so they can share them. It's on Zoom. They'll happen in July and August. And why we're doing this is to connect participating artists with regional art professionals, to raise awareness about the in-person tour, since this will be prior to the tour. Viewers get a really great behind the scenes view into your inspirations, techniques, methods, and more. And this also increases the accessibility of SAC Open Studios. You know, Zoom can be accessed from anywhere in the world. I think we even had some viewers from Australia last year, which was super cool. Next slide. So how do you do this? You'll complete the Conversations with Artists Google form, which will be emailed to everyone who registers. You'll get a time slot and your unique interview link in your email. You'll mark it in your calendar, and then you'll get ready for your interview. There's some tips to get ready here. Come up with some sample answers to your questions, practice talking about your art, make sure you have Zoom downloaded on your computer, phone, or tablet. Make sure you have your computer or whatever device you're using set up to meet your needs. And then you'll want to practice. And then I didn't put it on here, but then you'll attend your interview. Artist listing in the guide. This is something that every artist who registers gets. So what is the Sac Open Studios guide? I'm sure many of you have seen the guide. Here's one from a couple years ago. It's a comprehensive resource that attendees use before, during, and after the tour. The guide has really great information about each artist, their locations. It has artist demos listed, maps, so people can plan their tour. We have lots of great advertisers that actually help us pay for the guide through their advertisements. And there's always more resources to help attendees get the most out of their experience and get to know the really great artists that participate in this. So every participating artist gets a listing, which includes a full color image, their name, studio location, and contact info. And you can see on the side what one of those pages looks like. 25,000 copies of the guide are distributed throughout the region. A digital version is on the website, and artists are listed by location, and each artist location also has a pin on the maps. Next slide. Okay. So when the guide is released the first Friday of August, and it usually stays out in circulation throughout the month of September. Why do we have a guide? Attendees use the guide to identify artists they'd like to visit. And while Sac Open Studios, the tour primarily happens in September, I've heard feedback that people use this guide all year long as a resource. It has a really long shelf life. How do you get listed in the guide? So everything needed for your guide listing is included in the registration form. So when you fill out that registration form, be really careful to make sure that everything is spelled right, formatted correctly. Make sure to double check that your addresses are correct and everything is good, because Verge staff does proof the guide, but we can't make any promises. We can't promise that we're going to catch everything. So just do your best to make it so that there isn't an error. And then you'll upload one image of your artwork to be featured with your listing. And then there's some details about what the image should be, what requirements, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Go ahead. Okay. So this is another optional benefit, and it's to have an artist demo listed in the guide. So what is an artist demo? An artist demo is when an artist demonstrates a technique or process at scheduled times during their open studio weekend. So this is like you literally either sitting or standing in front of people at your studio, and maybe you're showing them how to throw a pot on the ceramics wheel, and you're showing them step by step. So what it is not is you just sitting at that ceramics wheel working and not telling anyone what you're doing and letting people walk around you while you work. It has to be specifically that you're teaching the people or showing the people in your studio how you do one of your techniques, showing them a process. So it should be a step-by-step demo. All submitted demos will get listed on the Verge website, and a selection of the demos will be included in the printed guide. So where are these? They will be at the artist location. They will also be listed on the Verge website, and a selection will be in the guide. They'll take place during the in-person tour. And why do we like demos? We think they give attendees a behind-the-scenes view into your process, and they add another level of engagement to your open studio. And if you want to list your demo on the Verge website and have the chance for it to be in the guide, you'll just have to fill out an artist demo Google form, which will be emailed to you after registration closes. What do you think, Saba? Should we stop for questions, or should we just power through and then do questions?
Let me look at the chat and see.
Yeah, maybe if there's
some
anything in the
questions.
chat we can answer.
Esthea said she's here in the chat too, and there aren't any questions. Does the group have any questions?
Yeah, if anyone has a question so far, let me know. Or if not, I'll just power through.
Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead, Melanie.
So it seems a little rigid on the demos this year. Is there a reason for that?
Apparently that's how they were always supposed to be. And I think they got off track somewhere, is what I was told. But if you could email me if you think you have an idea that might not fit the demo definition.
Okay. I'm not sure that it doesn't. It just seems, I don't know. It just
Yeah,
seems
I think you're right.
rigid.
Yeah, I think that you are right in that we weren't as rigid or defined about the definition before. Yeah,
Okay.
totally.
Yeah, I can work with it.
Cool. Okay.
I have a
David-
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Tasha King.
Tasha?
If I'm using another space for SAC Open Studios, I know I would list their address in the guide, but is there another way to let people know that's not my permanent studio location?
Well, you could put if the studio location has a name, you could put that in the guide. There wouldn't be anywhere else in the guide that you could put that it's not your permanent location, but you could put something on your artist directory profile that says that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we have a question in the chat asking if the artist talks will be available online for or how long will they be available online after the event?
We will at least leave them up for a year. Yeah. Maybe longer. I guess it just depends on like our storage facilities, but we can give them to the artists so they can just have them.
Okay. So another question says about the location, or rather would like to field everyone else's options on where would be the best to do it.
Okay, maybe we can talk about that one towards the end when we open it up to the group.
Okay, so we can carry on.
Okay, awesome. So speaking of the artist directory, I didn't go through this yet, did I?
No,
everyone who registers gets a profile in the artist directory, and it includes every current SAC Open Studios participant. Each directory listing has your artwork images, contact info, website links, and an artist bio. It's online at the SAC Open Studios tab at vergeart.com, or you can go directly to the SAC Open Studios tab by going to sacopenstudios.com. It's still the Verge website though. So when these will be live in June and will stay up for 1 year. Why do we have this? Well, we started the artist directory as another way to give artists extra exposure during last year's program, which was all virtual. So we still have it. We think it's great. And it gives artists added visibility online, and it's really helpful for artists who don't have their own website. And attendees can use it to dive deeper into artists they see in the guide or meet on the tour. So how do you use this? You'll be emailed your login information and will be provided with information about how to set up your profile at the beginning of June. So how to promote your Open Studios workshop. This is a free workshop that every SAC Open Studios artist can access. You could attend live, or we'll also have the link available for a limited amount of time. This workshop is a great place to learn effective ways to promote your art and your participation in Open Studios, and you'll learn techniques to help you grow your audience, engage your current supporters, build your newsletter list, increase your sales, and more. It will be held virtually on Zoom. It's on June 3rd from 6 to 8. And the reason why we offer this is because while Verge does its own promo, it seems that the SAC Open Studios artists that also do some of their own promotion have greater success. And this workshop gives artists the tools they need to effectively promote their art for their open studio and even beyond SAC Open Studios. And all registered artists will get a link emailed to them to register. And Judith just asked about the directory. If you already have a profile, yes, it will migrate to the 2021 directory. So if you already have one, you can just go on and update it, but you don't have to worry about starting from scratch. Next slide. So included in the preview exhibit, I'm sorry, I should be saying who these artists are in the pictures. In the last image, it was Henry Parada. He does great geometric, like sculptural paintings. And here's Eileen Neuer at the preview exhibit a couple of years ago, showing off her painting. So I think this is a really great opportunity for artists to have their work displayed in a professional exhibit. It includes artwork from participating Sac Open Studios artists, and it's optional. But I think you should really try to find a piece that you would like to include. It's at Verge from September 9th through 26th. And this is where a lot of attendees of Sac Open Studios start to get an idea of what studios they'd like to visit on the tour. And how do you get your art in this exhibit? You'll be provided with artwork guidelines and a contract to complete, and you'll schedule a time to drop off during August. And Dawn asked if there will be an artist reception for the preview exhibit. So that's kind of lumped in with the kickoff party is also kind of like an opening reception / kickoff. Finally, artists get discounted advertising rates in the guide. Artists get 50% off of advertising rates. Where are they? They're in the guide. The deadline to purchase and submit ad artwork is June 15th. Why do we offer this? Because there's hundreds of artists who participate. So this is an effective way to enhance your presence and bring extra attention to your artwork in the guide. And if you'd like to do this, you can find more details and the artist ad kit available on sacopenstudios.com. And you can purchase online or by mail. So those were all the things that are included in your artist registration. And now these are just some important dates that are coming up that you should mark your calendar if you want to stay in the loop. So May 16th is the deadline for regular registration. Registration is $150 and $99 for Verge members. By May 23rd is your absolute last chance to register, but this goes into a late registration period and it will be $175 for everyone at this point. June 15th is the deadline to purchase an artist ad. June 3rd, I guess I got out of order here, is the basics to promote your Open Studios workshop. And June 14th is the deadline to submit your artist interview and artist demo forms. Okay, so this is, I just thought we could maybe end on a high note by reading some artist testimonials from artists who had a good Sac Open Studios experience. So one artist says, I had many return visitors from prior years. My favorite sales experience was selling a small piece to a high school girl. It was her first time to buy artwork. Visiting other artist studios and hosting my own was just what I needed to feel inspired and get a creative jumpstart on where I'm going with my art in the coming year. I met fantastic people, sold work, and got valuable feedback to help me grow as an artist. I really think those connections that you make during Sac Open Studios are so valuable. And then finally, for me, Open Studios is all about the connections I make with other artists and community members. This year, I had some terrific conversations about art, the new direction my work is going in, and the work of like-minded artists I was introduced to. I also got some feedback that helped me to see my own work with new eyes. I forged new relationships and built on old ones, a success in my book. Yeah, so those are some feedbacks from artists that make me happy. Looks like there's some stuff going on in the chat. So about artists wanting to party. I think we all want to party at this point.
Yeah.
So this slide is just our contact information. So you see the Verge address. Our email is sacopenstudios@vergeart.com, website, social media handle. And then finally, we have a Facebook group. So for Sac Open Studios, it's open to anyone, whether you're an artist or just someone who's curious about the program. And we'll keep you updated about what's going on with Sac Open Studios, and artists can chat with each other, share tips, share things that they're doing during Sac Open Studios. So it's a nice little group that we've been building up. And so now we have some time for questions, and I think we can stop sharing. If you have a question, you can either just turn on your mic and let us know, or you can type it in the chat. I'm glad that's done. That was a lot of talking.
Talking.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Justina, for putting this together and answering some of my questions with your PowerPoint. I know I'm going to apply or register, and I just can't figure out where to do it. I work out of my home, and I live in West Sac, and I just don't know, I guess, if I will generate the traffic I want to, compared to maybe trying to find some other space. I have a friend that owns a salon that might be open to it, or a community center, and I'm just wondering if you think that would be better, like a public space.
I don't know if it would be better. I guess you would have the added traffic of people that are naturally in that space. But I think I think we do have a larger number of artists in West Sacramento this year. So I think that there will be people traveling around in that area during the tour. And I think if you also put in the time to do some of your own promotions, that you will get visitors at your home studio. So I guess it's just personal preference. I think sometimes partnering with another artist to share a space helps, because then people see there are two artists or more than two artists at one location. So maybe at your home, if you have extra space, you could offer to host another artist. I know that Dawn was looking for another space. Dawn, you're also in West Sacramento, right?
Yeah, I actually found space with Heather Hogan.
Oh, good. Yeah, so like Dawn and Heather will be partnering together. So a good place to post things like that, if you're interested in sharing a space with someone, is on that Facebook group.
Okay.
But then also just stay in touch with me, because if I hear about anything, I can let you know. If I hear about any other people sharing spaces in West Sacramento.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'll drop my email in the chat in case
go for it.
Either has a space or wants to partner up. I did have one other question, about the preview exhibit. So is everyone accepted into that who meets the guidelines and signs the contract?
Yep, everyone who registers is eligible to be in the exhibit. You just have to fill out the contract. And I think off the top of my head, I want to say that the size limits are 24 by 24 by 24 inches. And it just needs to be ready to hang. So it needs to have like a wire or some other device that's hangable on the back of the piece already. Or if it's a sculpture, like it needs to be able to be put on a pedestal or,
Yeah.
Could I jump in here?
Yeah, of course, Stephen.
I want to check with, I don't know if you know Paula or Joe Balacera. They're in West Sac. And I know when they opened up, I don't know if they're in this year or not, because a lot of times they do public artwork, so they're elsewhere. But when I went there last time, they had about 2 or 3 artists that were also showing there. So they may have space, and they draw a big crowd. So something. They have huge studios there too. So it's a really nice place to go.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. We don't really host other people because we draw such a big crowd. We have parking issues. So we occasionally have an art party separate from open studios, and we've included a number of artists in that. But I do have a list of artists in West Sacramento who are looking for space, including John Nichols. I see you're on here. Have you found some space to show?
Yes, I have. I'm with 7 other artists, or 7 total in Carmichael.
Oh,
On
excellent.
Carmichael.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah. Also, we've been in contact with what's her name? Is her name Sierra Paula at the West Sacramento Gallery at the community center? So she might be someone that you could connect with. Julie.
We've tried working with West Sacramento Rec Center and the city, and there doesn't seem to be any give with that. John, you've helped with that. Do you know that there's anything that's going to happen or has happened?
Well, it's closed right now, and the only thing they have is just separate events each month. They don't do the studio tour, and the West Sac Art Guild is there. So, yeah, I don't see anything
There's
happening.
an issue with being open on the weekend and charging for security and charging deposit.
Right.
It's a really expensive venture for artists to want to use some of their space.
Right.
Any other questions?
Justina, just to circle around again to the art for the preview show, I know you're going to send us specifics on that, but was it 24 by 24 is the max size, right?
I
The
believe
maximum
so.
size?
Yeah. I want to say 24 or 25. I think it was 24.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. You're welcome. Any other questions? This must mean I did a good job telling you all the things. An artist last year told me that I needed to do that who, what, when, where, why, how format. So I did it. And it really does cover all the bases. Did you have another?
You're going to tie the auction. Previously, you tied the auction to the open studios. Is that going to still be separate this year?
Yeah, so that's a separate department, but I assume every year they've had, I think, members from the auction committee go around the preview exhibit and pick out any artwork they would like to include in the auction, and then ask the artist if they would like to contribute that to the auction. So I assume that's something that they'll do again, but that is a different department.
All right.
So that's a membership, or I would email Maciel at vergeart.com if you have questions about that, but she's not thinking about the auction right now. She probably will start thinking about the auction maybe in September, but I'll put her email in the chat. So who's signed up so far that's here?
Okay, show of hands.
Awesome. Judith, Don, John, Nichols, Elaine, Melanie. Thank you for registering early. Make us happy. So I'm going to put Maciel's email in the chat. Maciel at vergeart.com. You could email her if you have questions about being a member, or if you have questions about the art auction or anything else like development or membership related. Rhonda's registered. Awesome. Well, I think we could probably, if no one has any other questions, we could end early and give you all some of your evening back. It looks.
Cassandra has a hand up. Did you have a question? Maybe not. Sorry, Justina.
Oh, it's okay. No, I saw that too. So thank you for bringing that up. Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us. Feel free to email us, stacopenstudios@vergeart.com. We'll send this slide deck out to you all by next week and this recording. And Cassandra didn't have a question. She just raised to show that she registered. So thank you, Cassandra, for registering. Yay.
I just thought of another question I have.
Okay, go for it.
Somewhere in the sign up, I thought they said there was going to be an app for this, a phone app.
That was initially the plan, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But I will be working with our web designer to make the Sac Open Studios portion of the site mobile friendly. And I'm thinking about figuring out ways to connect the website to the guide by putting in more QR codes at key places where you could easily use your phone. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, even though there won't be an app this year, we will make the website mobile friendly. You caught that. I took it off, but you must have seen that early.
Quick question.
Yes.
Do we know the hours of the kickoff slash preview exhibition? I know the date, but not the hour.
Yeah, I guess we didn't decide on the hours yet. Usually we start at 6. I think we open it up to like 5:30 for sponsors, and then an artist come a little early, and then I think we open it to the public at 6. So there's like a little staggered opening, 6 to 9 usually. Any other last questions? Any comments?
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, it sounds
Trying.
great.
Awesome. I'm really excited. I'm so excited to visit everyone this year. It's, we've all been stuck inside, so it's really going to be great to be able to see some art in person and connect with each other. So thank you again for being here. Thank you, Saba and Estathia, for being on the Zoom and helping out. And I'll hopefully talk to a lot of you soon. Have a nice night.